Hello. Today is, let's see, it's Friday. I had to think about it for a minute because I'm actually off work and I'm not on call today, which is nice. So I wanted to jump on here. I've had some people reach out about fat. I just had some questions on how much fat they should be using, adding into their diet. So I'm going to go over, and this is just giving you some ideas where to go, like how to start to figure out how much you need. It's what I would do. So we're all individual, so we're all different. So I always say start out, add more fat in as you go along, see how you feel. That's really what you need to go by is how do you feel. So basically, when it comes to how much fat do you need, if you're going to follow macros, which I do not, I hate to measure. I don't even like to do any of that. I've done it, but I don't like to do it. So I'm not going to do that. But if you are somebody who likes to have a diet macro ratio for you, it's about 50 to 75% fat, 20 to 35% protein. Now that is just a starting point. You can, change that as you need to, um, so that you feel your best is what I would say. Um, so that's what I would do. So the easiest way to really do this, if you're doing carnivore, which is this could be keto, ketovore, carnivore. Of course, this is not going to go along with standard American diet because I would never tell somebody that is doing the standard American diet to add more fat to their diet because they're already in trouble, and I don't want to help them along the way. So things that you could do to hit these macros or get more fat is you could do fattier cuts of meat. So that's going to be your cheaper, like 70-30 hamburger. That's going to be, if you're doing chicken, it's going to be the dark chicken. Make sure they leave the skins on. It's going to be chuck roast, chuck eye, chuck steak, ribeyes, really any of the ruminant meats, any of the meats actually, fatty fish. And you can always add in more fat to the side of it. You can get ribeye fat or meat trimmings from your butcher and add those in. So that is something I do. You could also add eggs. Now, I cannot do egg whites. That's just me personally. It causes a histamine response. I don't like the way it makes me feel. So I try to avoid doing egg whites. Some once in a blue moon, I'll throw a couple egg yolks out there. But the 98% of my eating is just meat with fat. So that's what I do. So there are 9 calories per gram of fat. There are 4 calories for protein, and they say the same for carbs. So basically, I do a 1-to-1 ratio of fat to protein, which means 70% of my calories are coming from the fat, and the rest is protein. So if you eat 150 grams of fat and 150 grams of protein per day, that would be that 1-to-1 ratio. As a female, I will tell you, I have found I was following kind of like the fat ratio to protein ratio that I heard a lot of the carnivore men talk about. And I found I was lethargic, I was tired, I wasn't sleeping well. I wasn't having like anxiety or depression like I had had in the past, but I was absolutely moodier. Um, which I don't really care for. I don't like moody people, so I don't want to be a moody person. So I noticed that. So I did notice another thing. I am very OCD, very neat oriented, like things to be put in place. I don't have to like turn the door handle 6 times or whatever. Some people have different variances of OCD. And I did find that that also was starting to creep back in pretty good. Like I could wake up at 2 in the morning and be like, I need to go shampoo the carpet. I need to go do this. I need to clean this. So I had that. So I started integrating a 50-50 ratio of fat and protein. And I may even decrease the protein every so often. So that's what I do. With this way of eating, I was absolutely able to get off of all the medications for anxiety, depression, acid reflux. Years ago, I got off of those. Thank God. I had a good doctor who was trained in another country, who was a gastroenterologist and wasn't having to work under that standard of care and was able to give me the right information to do. So some carnivores go as high as 80 to 90% of their calories from fat. I would say that most of those people do not stay on that long term. I think that would cause a stall at some point. But as your body's healing, you do need more of that fat. Okay. So don't be afraid of the fat. I know we have just been hit and bombarded with, um, you can't have fat, can't have fat, try eat low fat. It's not a good idea. So let's see. You won't be able to get as much fat into your diet if you don't try. You are going to have to add stuff. Um, you're going to have to add fat, egg yolks, ghee, butter, tallow, lard, bacon, all that stuff. Goose fat, duck fat, any of that stuff. Because, some of the other countries do utilize a lot of those fats from like geese, duck. I'm not sure. I've heard of duck, geese. There was another fat, but I don't remember what animal source it was. But anyway, animal sourced fats. You may have to add those in. Some people also have trouble doing rendered fat. And when I say rendered fat, that's the liquefied fat. So not necessarily tallow and it's hard, like when it's hardened, but like if you cook up a hamburger and you've got that fat that's in there, some people can pour that right over their hamburger and eat that and get no upset stomach, no indigestion, no diarrhea. Other people, it goes right straight through them. So you'll have to kind of see where you fit in that, and be careful with that. Now, I did have trouble with that when I first transitioned to carnivore over 4 years ago. So I was listening to Kelly Hogan. She has great information. I definitely recommend going out and following her. She's been doing this, I think she said 12 years the other day. So I aspire for that. Mine will be a forever thing. So at some point, I'll be at my 12-year mark also. But, I was having to cut up butter really cold from the fridge and actually eat that as I was eating my food. I could not allow it to melt. Now I can sit there and drink it right out of the jar if I had poured it in there, so but don't do that because if you do that and you're not used to this, you will be in the bathroom. Hi, Tambourine. Yes, it's Friday. Yay, and I'm off. It's so great. Let's see. Mhm. Yes. So some people, and another way you can tell if you're getting enough fat other than moods and stuff like that is your bowel movements. So if you are having diarrhea, you may need to either pull back on that amount of fat or go with cold fat. Try to stay away from that hot fat. That may be it. But some people do decrease down to 60%. I do think females are requiring more fat than the males. And I'm sure it's because of our hormones as we get older. Men's hormones really don't always decrease unless they're metabolically sick. I think, who was I talking to? I don't remember if it was Dr. Baker or somebody, and it might have been, I don't know. Anyway, that they had had their father tested at like in their 70s and they were like 700. So, I mean, that obviously shows that it isn't always something that's going to decrease. So let's see. I cannot do egg whites. Boy, I wish I could do egg whites, but I just can't. There is a website out there that is called www.delighted to meet you, meatu.com/calculator. And you could put in your what macros and everything, and it would come up with that for you. So, eating fat provides your body with the optimal building blocks for the ketones, which is energy molecules that are produced from the fats. Protein is used primarily to, just hold on to your muscle mass, which we want to do as we get older. Um, let's see. And of course, we do make our own glucose just through a process of gluconeogenesis. Fat helps the body absorb vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, and K. Those are all fat soluble vitamins. So if you're somebody who is supplementing those vitamins with your way of eating, definitely make sure you do that with a fat. That way it is able to absorb. Our bodies use fat and cholesterol to build the structures of every cell membrane we have in our body, making all of our hormones, including estrogen, testosterone, adrenal hormones, all the hormones. Cholesterol is absolutely essential for the body to produce vitamin A, aid in the absorption of all of the vitamins I spoke about, helps with your immune system. It's just really important. Obviously, we have a liver that produces it. So, um, oh, um, Tamboree, I am actually right now, currently today, as soon as I get done here, I'm going into the courthouse and I'm going to register my name, my business name, stuff like that. And I am going to be working with G, and I'm going to make a website. And hopefully, at some point, I'll be able to just have people click on stuff there if they want me to work with them. As of right now, all you have to do, because the only way I have to do it at this point, is just reach out to me through my email, which is laura 4771 at gmail.com, which is up in my description. I do have that, and you can reach out to me and I can work with you. Um, let's see. Another thing that you will notice if you're not getting in enough fat, if you're somebody who does do any kind of working out, whether it be fast walking, sprinting, lifting light weights, bikes, it doesn't matter. Whatever exercise you're able to do, even if it's just taking 2 cans of beans that you're never going to eat again and just working out with those, you got to start someplace and within wherever you're able to do. We really need to do that. But you'll notice if you're not getting in enough fat, you're just going to feel wiped out, very quickly. Um, and I mean, you'll just know, you'll just feel like somebody unplugged you. So that's how I also know. As I always say, you will learn to be very in tune with your body. We are able to heal ourselves if we quiet the body down and quit putting all this crap in to block it, and hijack the system. So um, lastly, concentration definitely suffers if you're not able to take in enough healthy fat. And well, and if you guys know me, G Brown from Hanging with the Browns. And she's very upfront with this, that she had a stomach surgery done for weight loss some years back. And so she doesn't get hunger cues. I don't think she's producing the enzymes that she needs to help break down food. But she'll tell you that it's very hard for her to eat enough, even doing this lifestyle, because she gets full so fast and she can even get sick, very easily if she eats too much. So hopefully some stuff that we spoke about will help her out on that. But she'll say that I'm not even thinking clear because, she's not getting in enough. So we're going to get that fixed. I think we'll get that done. So eating the standard American diet, which is low in good fats, but high in the bad fats. So that is your seed oils, processed. And I was watching Dr. Berg and he was talking about the seed oils. He says, if they just took the seed and squeezed the oil out of it and you use that, that's not that it's necessarily horrible for you unless you're somebody that can't handle oxalates. I cannot do oxalates at all. But some people can. It's not that that's so dangerous. It's that hyper processing that they just do over and over, and cooking and heating it and putting chemicals like hexane through it that are just, they're known carcinogens. Um, and that's what they sell the public. Your corn oil, your Wesson, your all your little brand names. Um, yeah, and it's in all of your packaged foods. You can look at, turn them over, just like my husband's Girl Scout cookies I saw on the fridge, on top of the refrigerator today. I was like, Girl Scout cookies? And he's like, I'm just trying to help him out. And I was like, right, sure, okay. Which is fine. That's his body. He's on his own journey. So um pretty much the last thing I'm going to say is don't be afraid of eating fat. You have to put that voice that's in your head, that's been put there by years of commercials, years of doctors, years of nutritionists telling you that fat was unhealthy. There are tens of thousands of people out there that you can find and follow that can absolutely show you that is not true. And if anybody wants to see my lab work and my coronary artery calcium scan, I have that. You can ask me and I will send those to you personally to show you that after, and I did that when I was 2.5 years into carnivore, when I did my cardiac calcium scoring, and it was zero. So, this absolutely is something you can do. So try to add in more fat and do it incrementally. Don't just try to go up to like 4 tablespoons with your hamburger when that's not something you've been doing. I would go up slowly. So as I always say, this is trial and error. We all have to go through to find our balance, learning how to listen to our body's cues. And That's what I'm here to help with. So follow me if you like this information. You know, you can subscribe, like, share if you have family members, friends that you want to get this out to. I welcome everybody. And then don't forget, and that's at Healthy Carnivore. Don't forget, every Monday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, we do Meaty Mondays with the Fierce Felines. So that is myself, Robin Heron. That's Rhonda at Carnivore Leo, Rebecca at Carnivore Family, and G Brown at Hanging with the Browns. So thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful day. And I will look forward to any comments, questions, or emails that I get from you. And I will get back with you. As I always say, meet, heat, eat, and repeat.